Round 7 of the 2019 Autosport International BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross Championship takes place at the spiritual home of Rallycross, Lydden Hill race circuit in deepest Kent. Not only has the championship been blessed with excellent weather, but an excellent entry as well of almost 90 cars across 5 different classes, with continental representation as well from Ireland, Holland, Belgium, Germany, and even as far away as Norway. A great day in prospects here at Lydden Hill. First of all, we'll take a lap of the circuit with production competitor Lee Keeler at the wheel of his Citroën Saxo. On the start, it's down towards the long right-hander at Chesson's Drift, named after Bill Chesson, one of the founders of Lydden Hill circuit. The Joker lap section goes to the outside of this long, rough right-hander. Lee taking the loose section on the inside. It's back onto the tarmac as you come onto the straight at Dover Slope alongside the spectator banking, and then up to the tricky left-hander at Devil's Elbow. Very easy to run wide there and go into the gravel trap. Then it's hard on the power up Hairy Hill. Quite a steep uphill climb into the right-hander at North Bend. Plenty of overtaking opportunities under braking there. He swings the Saxo out of North Bend, down Hairy Hill again, past the paddock entrance and towards Paddock Bend, the right-hander that takes the cars back onto the loose. Then it's onto the Canterbury Straight to get the power down up towards the final chicane. Easy to clip the curbs there, and that is a lap of Lydden Hill circuits. We begin our action with the A final for the Questmead Limited and 710 Oils Junior Rallycross category. Overall championship leader Luke Constantine won 2 of the heats, but an electrical problem stopped him in the other. Ben Sayer was the winner on that occasion. He's qualified on pole, but it is Luke Constantine who makes the best start in this A final, leads them down towards Chesson's Drift. Anybody going for the Joker lap at the first attempt? Yes, indeed, Abby McGuinness and Max Langmaid. Everybody has to go through that Joker section once in every race for a slightly longer lap, and there's a penalty if you forget to do so. So Luke Constantine leads. Ben Sayer giving chase up towards Devil's Elbow for the first time. Charlie Titcom's had a good day so far. He's third, and it's 4 wide for 4th place behind. James Constantine, brother of Luke, is there in cousin of Luke, I should say, in 4th place, side by side with Alfie Porter. Then Alfie Jeekins in the Nissan Micra. Recently made his circuit racing debut in the Junior Saloon Car Championship at Anglesey. Got a best finish of 6th. Behind him, Amy Baines in the Vauxhall Corsa. We'll see a full field of 10 cars here today for the junior category. Luke Constantine, despite that problem in Heat 1, which saw him pull up with electrical trouble, leads them through ahead of Ben Sayer. Yet to take their Joker lap, and Amy Baines spinning there in the background on Canterbury Straight. Looks like she's misjudged the chicane. Alfie Porter in the orange car takes his Joker lap. Now the trick is to get as far enough ahead of the rest of the field to be able to take your Joker lap and then still come out in front. You need a lead of at least 6 seconds, I reckon, to be able to do so. So it's quite a lead you need to build up. Ben Sayer is not letting Luke Constantine get away. He locks up a little there into the right-hander at North Bend. He's won 6 of 7 rounds this year, Luke Constantine. He didn't contest round 1 at Blyton Park because he was racing elsewhere. Alfie Jeekins was the winner on that occasion, chasing James Constantine here further back for 5th position. It's Titcomb still there in 3rd. Are the leaders going to go for their Joker this time? No, they're not. They're going to leave it as late as possible in this 5-lap race. None of the top 5 have yet taken their Jokers. It's Constantine who leads, looking for a 6th win of the season. It's round 7 of the Autosport International BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross Championship in the Questmead 710 Oils Junior category, and Ben Sayer is giving him no peace at all here. Titcomb is in 3rd, and Sayer has a look up the outside as they go into North Bend. 4th is James Constantine, the cousin of Luke. Down the slope they come. Luke was the first ever driver to win, ever junior driver to win the championship overall last season. The first season that junior drivers were eligible to win the overall BTRDA championship. Sayer giving chase. Over the line they go. Are they going to take their Jokers this time? Sayer is. He goes into the Joker section, so Charlie Titcomb will go up to 2nd, and that's Jeekins going into the Joker lap as well, through that little chicane through the barriers. The leaders are coming up on a back marker here. That's newcomer Reese Probyn Maguire. His first ever rallycross today in the VW Lupo there. Have to get past him. He moves wide at Devil's Elbow. The leader will get through no problem. Bit of a daunting place to make your rallycross debut. race has gone well today. Charlie Titcombe in second place, and Sayer has rejoined in fourth behind James Constantine. Looks like Max Langmaid possibly in fifth position, or it could be Abby McGuinness, the two black cars who took their jokers on lap one. Coming round to start the final lap of this junior rallycross final then. Ben Sayer in the Sayers Road Tankers car still attacking James Constantine. Oh, he's hit the back marker there. Oh, that'll delay Ben Sayer as Constantine and Titcombe take their joker laps. Charlie Titcombe, is he going to re-emerge in second place? Ben Sayer is not up there with them. There's Sayer, he's back in third place. You can see the damage to the front of his car there. And that's a shame that he clipped Rhys Probyn Maguire there on Canterbury Straight, because otherwise he would have been up there with Luke Constantine again, as everything is now slotted back together. Everybody's taken their jokers, and Luke Constantine is going to take his 6th final win of the season. Charlie Titcombe up there in second. Is Sayer going to get through? I think that's only bodywork damage to the left front of his car. Alfie Porter going well in fourth place, ahead of McGuinness, James Constantine, Alfie Jeekins and the rest of them. But it's going to be another win for Luke Constantine as he continues his march towards a potential second consecutive BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross overall title. He comes through to take the checkered flag. Titcombe second, third for Ben Sayer, and Alfie Porter's going to hang on for fourth as Abby McGuinness goes over the curbs on the final chicane there. She may have lost out to James Constantine on the run to the line. The rest of them come through. Rhys Probyn Maguire does get home after that collision with Ben Sayer. I think everybody has made the finish in that one. And well done, Luke Constantine. Another A final victory. Constantine has won every A final he's contested over the last 2 seasons. Charlie Titcombe a personal best in second place. Ben Sayer completing the top 3 ahead of Porter, James Constantine, McGuinness, Jeekins and Max Langmaid.
Luke, your reign over the Junior Championship with this BTRDA still continues, and you've just absolutely cracked another A final win. Fantastic driving as always. To be honest, it looked like you chose to do your joker lap at just the right time. I mean, you were leading, you did your joker, and it all just worked out, where for other people it dropped them back too far. Was that kind of your strategy all along?
Yeah, my strategy at the start was just try and get a good start, try and get into the lead of the race and just get my head down and see if I can joker on the last lap and keep on pulling away. And you know, I'm really buzzing after the result, as in the first heat I had a DNF as we had problems with the car. And to bring it back from a DNF to end up winning the event, I'm absolutely over the moon. So yeah, I'd just like to say a big thank you to my team, and especially Fudge.
Definitely, you've got a really, really good support behind you. And speaking of support, last weekend you did the British Championship and your car was pretty badly damaged. I mean, you guys must have really pulled something out of the bag just to get here this weekend.
Yeah, you know, my sponsor Eye Catching Signs and Victoria Garage, we work till 10 o'clock every night this week, just trying to get the car out for this weekend with them. We didn't think it was going to be possible. So just to even be here, I'm over the moon. So I'd like to say a massive thank you to Eye Catching Signs and Victoria Garage.
Fantastic. As always, you've got a great support behind you. I can't wait to see you in the last round, and hopefully you get the same again and take that championship win.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait for Knock Hill. So it's going to be a long drive for my dad, getting us all up there. But yeah, I'd also like to say a big thanks to my dad, because without my dad, none of this would be possible. So yeah, big thank you.
Brilliant. We'll see you then, Luke. Thank you very much.
Now on to the Steve Gaunt Trailer Hire pre-1995 Classic category. Double heat winner Michael Grant in the red Fiesta on pole. The other heat won by Vince Bristow's BMW. We ride on board with the Fiesta of Wyatt Finch in number 179 as they head down towards Chessons for the first time. A couple of cars going for the joker lap, including Vince Bristow in the BMW, Stan Boville with his Escorts, and also Harry Volkard, former touring car racer, in the Vauxhall Corsa. Mark Finch's bonnet flapping away there on the Fiesta as he chases Belgian visitor Bram Olefs in his Honda Civic. Mark Jones, though, has made the best start. Was a bit off the pace in the heats earlier, unusually for the championship leader, the Welshman, in his MR2. Grant second. David Ewan with a good start in his Fiesta with the Mitsubishi Evo engine. He's up into third place. And we've got Olefs, Finch and Ian Biaggi all the way from Scotland in his Mini. He qualified by winning the B final. Mark Finch with his bonnet coming loose there. He did that in one of the heats as well, so hopefully that won't fly open. Jones leads as they complete the first lap. Looks like he's going for the joker lap, so Michael Grant will take the lead in the red Fiesta. He's the son of Andy Grant, who's raced in various forms of rallycross for many years. David Ewan up into second place, the farmer from Cumbria. His rear-wheel drive Fiesta with a Mitsubishi Lancer Evo engine, a real hybrid, that car. Bram Olefs up to third, one of our continental visitors in the green Honda Civic. That's Mark Finch. Then Jones has rejoined in 5th place ahead of Vince Bristow and Stan Beauville. Ball with Mark Finch, and Mark Jones charges round the outside there into North Bend. That MR2 so quick in a straight line, not so quick on the loose though, and his opposition have been able to catch up. Mark Finch staying ahead of Vince Bristow, Mr. Sideways as he's known. There's a bit of stage rallying as well in his BMW E36. Michael Grant continues to increase his lead. David Ewan in 2nd place. Jones still ahead of Finch, who goes for his Joker lap. A good run by David Ewan. We're on board with him, the very experienced Cumbrian racer. Heads up towards Devil's Elbow for the 3rd time, looking for his best overall result in the category this year. Can't keep pace with the XR2 of Michael Grant ahead of him. Is he going to take his first A final win this year? And it's Jones, Bristow, Beauville in the Escort, Volkard in the Corsa further back ahead of Bram Olefs. And it's Mark Finch and Ian Biaggi. The other car that had qualified, David Martin in the Peugeot 205, who came through from the B final, unfortunately a non-starter in the Stutchbury family-owned 205. It's Bristow, Mr. Sideways, hanging the tail out as always, under fire from Stan Beauville at the wheel of his Escort. His appearance in the championship for Beauville. Mark Finch continuing his pursuit of Bram Olefs. I think that is ahead of us in the Honda Civic. Oh, and Mark Finch's bonnet does fly open. Oh dear. That'll be the end of the race for Mark Finch. He pulls up onto the grass infield. Still the 2 Fiestas out front. Ewan still losing a bit of ground to Michael Grant out in front now. I think Grant has done enough here. He's built up enough of an advantage to be able to take his Joker lap and still stay ahead of the rest of the field. So I think we're going to see a win here for Michael Grant as Stan Beauville kicks the tail out on his Escort at North Bend. Down towards paddock. Grant takes his Joker. Yes, he's comfortably ahead of everybody else. David Ewan still has to take his Joker as well. So through goes Michael Grant. He's got the lead. There's David Ewan through the tyre walls. Is he going to rejoin in 2nd place? It's going to be close here. Mark Jones in the MR2 up alongside Ewan. He goes by him. David Ewan into 3rd place. He's going to lose out to Bristow as well. So Ewan drops off the podium and also charging his way through his Stan Beauville. Oh, that's close into Devil's Elbow there. There's a bit of rubbing there. I'm wondering if Ewan's got a problem actually. He seemed quite slow along Dover Slope there. Vince Bristow fights off the challenge of Stan Beauville. It's going to be a win for Michael Grant by a clear margin in his Fiesta. Mark Jones keeps his championship challenge alive with 2nd place. Grant takes the flag. Stan Beauville with a last spin lunge on Vince Bristow. And yes, David Ewan has slowed down. There's a problem with his Fiesta, unfortunately. 2nd will go to Mark Jones, just ahead of Bristow. They're the 2 fighting for the championship this year. Beauville is 4th, and David Ewan further back, dropping back into 5th place ahead of Volkard. Bram Olefs over the curbs there, the Belgian in his Honda. And Ian Biaggi will be the final finisher because, of course, we lost Mark Finch when his bonnet unfortunately flew open mid-race. Good stuff there from the Steve Gaunt Trailer Hire Pre-95 Classic Division. The win going to Michael Grant by over 8 seconds ahead of Mark Jones. That's his first A final win of the season. Vince Bristow in 3rd ahead of Stan Beauville. David Ewan dropping back to 5th in the closing stages. And Harry Volkard, Bram Olefs and Ian Biaggi completing the 8 finishes. Some great action so far then here at Lydden Hill today. Round 7 of the Autosport International BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross Championship. Certainly blessed with superb weather and a brilliant, truly international entry here today. They've put on some great racing and great entertainment for a big crowd here at the home of Rallycross. And there is still plenty more racing to come. Now it's time to look at the Flitspeed Production 4x4 category. 6 cars entered today. Best entry of the year. A couple of them unable to start the A final though. No Dominic Flitney, the championship sponsor. No Nick Potter either. James Phillips, the championship leader in 555, will start as the favourite along with Paul Davis in number 11, the former champion. A bit of push and shove there into the first corner. Oh dear, and 193 of Chris Baker is the car that's got taken out there. Paul Davis took the sensible option. I think he went for the Joker lap at the first attempt. So it's James Phillips who leads. Darren Clark in his rather battered Nissan Pulsar, who won here last season in 2nd place. Was able to inherit the A final somewhat last year when last year's champion Dan Beattie and Paul Davis got a bit over-friendly in the closing laps, and Clark round the outside takes the lead into North Bend. Are we up for a surprise result here then? Because local specialist Clark, he doesn't race anywhere else, has the lead. Chris Baker's got going again in his Subaru after that incident on the first corner, and Paul Davis up behind him. Been having engine issues with the car this year. He retired from one of the heats today as well and failed to start another, but he did win the second heat. I expect to see him challenge Phillips here. The championship leader goes for his Joker lap. So behind there, that's Chris Baker going for the Joker in 1:9.3, and Phillips rejoins ahead of the man who'll be his main rival in this race, I think, Paul Davis. So it all depends now on if Darren Clark in the Pulsar can build enough of a lead to be able to take his Joker lap and come out safely in front of James Phillips. If James wins this, he will, I would think, guarantee himself the championship this year in the Flit Speed Production 4x4 category. James Phillips, the only man who's contested every round of the championship this year. A couple of cars missing, as we mentioned, from this grid, including the man behind Flit Speed, the championship sponsor Dominic Flitney, had problems in the heats with his Subaru, but at least he got further than Nick Potter, the sixth entry. His Subaru broke down in practice. Now Darren Clark taking his Joker lap, and he's not going to come out in front here because there is James Phillips. Over that little jump there, Darren Clark a bit sideways. He could lose second place here to Paul Davis. Yes, the blue Subaru comes through. Clark will have to fight back in the Pulsar. Also campaigns a Nissan Almera, the local specialist. He's leading on Paul Davis almost there. They're side by side. It's a hairy hill out of the Devil's Elbow. Rubbing's racing, as they say. There's a bit of a rub there, and Davis holds the second place. But it's James Phillips with the lead. His first season in Rallycross. Clark lunges at Paul Davis. Oh no, you don't, says Paul. Moves across on him. Oh yes, I do, says Darren Clark. But Davis it is who holds the place. Now on the old Lydden configuration, there was a bank on the outside of the exit of Paddock Bend there. Mabs Bank it used to be known as. And if a car hit that, it was going skywards. Paul Davis would have hit that bank if he'd run wide there on the old circuit configuration. Mabs Bank has now been removed. Famous clip of Rallycross here several years ago involving Keith Ripp in his Mini, which hit that bank and was completely destroyed in the ensuing rollover. So James Phillips out in front, Paul Davis in second, Darren Clark in that rather second-hand looking Nissan, had a couple of scrapes in the opening heat today in third, and there is Chris Baker further back in fourth. Well, it looks like James Phillips is all set to take the win, but Darren Clark is not finished yet. He has another look down the inside into Paddock Bend, over the loose. Darren Clark, he's got himself a bit sideways there through the chicane. That could have cost him his chance of second place. Full credit must go to the Lydden track staff today, who've been regrading the loose sections of the circuit with a JCB after every group of races today. Paul Davis starting to reel in James Phillips slightly, but champion-elect looking safe in front. He's on his last lap now, up the hill towards North Bend for the final time. His only motorsport experience being a couple of stage rallies before embarking on his Rallycross odyssey this season. And what a season it has been for number 555 James Phillips. He goes into Paddock Bend for the final time, back onto the loose, up towards the chicane for the last time. James Phillips takes the win and surely almost guarantees himself the championship this year. Paul Davis second, Darren Clark is third. Chris Baker will complete the four finishers in our Flit Speed Production 4x4 category final. Good to have Paul Davis back out there today, but he couldn't catch James Phillips, who takes the win by 2 3/4 seconds ahead of Paul Davis. Darren Clark, the local specialist, in third. Chris Baker in fourth, and Nick Potter and Dominic Flitney in their Subarus, unfortunately, were non-starters.
James, that was a pretty epic win. You had to fight for that one, didn't you?
Yeah, definitely fighting is the word for that one. That was a bit of a scrap, but got there, so.
You got there in the end. It's turning out to be quite a good year for you, considering this is your first year in Rallycross.
Yeah,
you're having some really good consistent results.
Yeah, it's been really good. Had the second place against Paul and Pembrey, but I think I've won all of those, so it's been really good fun. And even better to win today at the first time here, so.
Yeah. So first time at the track, and you've got a joker thrown in as well. It looks like you did it at the right time.
Yeah, perfect time, I think, but it's a lot more fun having the joker in.
Yeah.
Adds a bit of something different to it, so really good.
Definitely. Well, let's hope you get a decent result in the last round at Knock Hill. Are you going to be going there too?
I'm going to try. I don't know if I'll make it there, to be honest, but I'm going to try.
You got to hold them off. You got to get the points.
I'll try. And as my brother would say, if you ain't first, you're last.
I like it. I like his mentality. Awesome. Well, let's hope we see you there and you continue your reign over this championship.
Lovely. Thank you. Cheers.
Now we take a look at the AS Performance Super Modified category. This is the C final. The top 2 finishers from the 6 starters will go through onto the back of the grid for the B final. Willie Stewart from Scotland in the Mark II Escort on pole, but he's made a poor start, and it's Michelle Swallow in the Porsche Boxster, gets a flyer off the line but then goes straight into the Joker lap. So Dutchman Michael Alavinsa in his BMW will take the early lead. Also one of the Suzuki Swifts, that's Don McLeod, another Scotsman, going for the Joker lap early on. Very cosmopolitan entry today in the Super Modified classes. We shall see Thomas Velgosh there, the Polish-born driver based in London, attacking for second place, chasing Chris Scott in his Suzuki Swift, who goes wide at Devil's Elbow. So it's Michael Alavinsa's BMW that leads, Velgosh in second, Chris Scott in the Suzuki in third place. Then we've got Willie Stewart in the ex-Tommy Graham Irish Rallycross Championship winning Mark II Escort. Michelle Swallow behind them in 5th place, took the Joker at the first attempt. Stewart now goes past the less powerful Suzuki of Chris Scott. So Michael Alavinsa leads the way, one of our numerous continental visitors here today. Just a short trip for the Dutch to nip over the channel. Willie Stewart and Chris Scott into the Joker lap section. Stewart paying for a poor start here. He's back in the pack, been struggling to get the Escort off the line so far today. Michael Alavinsa, classic E30 shaped BMW with the lead. There's Don McLeod, another of our Scottish contingent, battling with fellow countryman Willie Stewart. There's Thomas Velgosh, the former hot hatch category champion in Rallycross with the Peugeot 106, and behind him Michelle Swallow in Rob Scott's Porsche Boxster. Chris Scott next through, Willie Stewart and Don McLeod. A couple of non-starters for this race. Christoph Kozon, another Polish driver with his BMW Mini. Ian Flipney with his Suzuki Swift, and also Leanne Sedgwick in one of the 2 BMW Minis she's got here today was a non-starter as well. So a slightly reduced grid for this C final. Thomas Velgosh will go through on the inside. Alavinsa's taken his Joker lap, so it's Velgosh into the lead. Swallow up into 2nd place. A learning year for young Michelle in her first season of Rallycross. Stewart continues to stay ahead of Chris Scott further back in the field. Then Don McLeod at the back, but it's Velgosh who has got the lead now in the 106, and Michelle Swallow is attacking in that more powerful Porsche, goes to the inside at North Bend. She's going through. Straight line speed of the Porsche tells, and Michelle Swallow takes up the lead. Are we going to see her take her first Rallycross win in this C final? Over 4 laps instead of the 5 for A final, so they're going into the last lap this time. Thomas Velgosh in 2nd place. I don't think he's taken his Joker lap yet though, so he will do this time. So it's going to be between Michelle Swallow and Michael Alavinsa, who's caught back up in the BMW, had some problems in the heats, so down in the C final. Michelle Swallow though, this is an impressive drive in the Porsche. Is she going to hang on for her first win? Into Devil's Elbow they go for the final time. Swallow getting a little bit crossed up through there. Oh, there's contact, and Alavinsa goes straight into the back of Michelle Swallow's Porsche. Well, she won't be happy about that. She was on for her first win there. Is the Porsche going to be able to rejoin? Side by side now for what is now 2nd place. Willie Stewart gets past Thomas Velgosh, who'd just taken his Joker. So it's going to be a win for Alavinsa. See the damage to the front of his BMW there, and Willie Stewart up into 2nd place in the Escort. So they're going to be the 2 qualifiers, unexpectedly, especially in Willie Stewart's case. It was 4th starting that lap. Alavinsa wins it, Stewart 2nd. They go through to the B final. Velgosh misses out in 3rd. Then Chris Scott and Don McLeod 4th and 5th. Michelle Swallow has got going again, but doubtlessly very angry Michelle Swallow will take 6th. See what happened again there, through Devil's Elbow for the last time. Michelle Swallow had that race virtually in the bag. She just got a bit sideways there and then walloped. That was not Michelle Swallow's fault, in my opinion there. She just got a little bit crossed up, almost saved it, and then the BMW straight into the back of her. She will not be pleased there. The win goes to Michael Alavinsa ahead of Willie Stewart. So it's Holland and Scotland into the B final. Then Velgosh, Chris Scott, Don McLeod, Michelle Swallow 6th, and then of course a couple of non-starters. Certainly eventful action at this 7th round of the Autosport International BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross Championship. Still plenty more Rallycross action to come here at Lydden Hill. Now it's time for the B final for the AS Performance Super Modified category. One One or two cars slightly out of position due to jump starts, and the top two once again will go through onto the back of the grid for the A final. Raf Verheyen from Belgium is in pole position with his BMW 1 Series, and he makes a great start there, leads them away ahead of Kenny Hall in the Renault Clio. Look out for Todd Crooks in the black and green BMW Mini there, going for his Joker lap. Problems in a couple of his heats, restricting him to the B final, one of the pace setters in the championship this year. He's chased by Bert Tunissa from Holland in his Toyota Yaris. There's James Knight-Coney in Dan Paul's Vauxhall Corsa. The car's won a couple of titles in the past, but it's Raf Verheyen, the Belgian in the BMW 1 Series, who has the early lead, chased by Kenny Hall in the Clio, the Scotsman ahead of Coney. Then Michael Alavinsa up into fourth place, winner of the C final. There's Leonardo Lyon in his Peugeot 206, just ahead of him Leanne Sedgwick in one of the two BMW Minis he's got here today, running in two subclasses within the super modified division. The other one unfortunately broke down in the heats with a blown engine. Across the line they come to complete the first of the 4 laps then. Verheyen from Hall, Coney in third, then Alavinsa. Sedgwick goes for the Joker lap. She actually had 3 cars here today, one in the production category as well. That blew its gearbox in the heat, so she's not had a lot of luck today. Leanne Sedgwick, the former stock car racer. Kenny Hall in his Clio has put in some good performances today. Could we see him in the A final? James Knight-Coney, the young gun, in third in the Corsa D. And we've got Michael Alavinsa, winner of the C final. The man who finished runner-up in the C final, incidentally, Willie Stewart, unfortunately a non-starter for the B final, as Todd Crooks locks up into North Bend. Already taken his Joker, so desperate for a chance at the A final, needs to keep his championship challenge alive. The likes of Pat Ryan up there at the top of the points, the Irishman in the Nova, will see him in the A final. Kenny Hall in second, Coney third. Alavinsa now goes for the Joker lap in the BMW, so Todd Crooks should go through into fourth. He does so. Bert Tunissa behind him in the little Toyota Yaris, a deceptive car that one, small but very powerful. Also in this race, Pim Garvelink in his Honda Civic. We saw him starting further back on the grid. That's because he jumped the start at the first attempt, and a jump start in Rallycross means you are penalised to the back of the grid. If you jump the start again, you are disqualified. We saw what happened to James Phillips in the 4x4 category in one of the heats earlier today. There's Tunissa and Alavinsa with Garvelink, the group of Dutch drivers, chased by Leanne Sedgwick in the BMW Mini. Into our final lap then. Raf Verheyen still leads the way. Into his Joker he goes, Hall and Coney behind him. So I think Verheyen is going to take a flag-to-flag victory here today. I think he's sufficiently clear of Todd Crooks, or is he? The BMW Mini comes up behind him. Is the 1 Series going to rejoin ahead? Only just. That's how the Joker lap closes things up. Raf Verheyen has come out with the lead. Todd Crooks desperately trying to get ahead of him here. Or will Todd settle for second place and a qualification place in the A final? Todd Crooks, who had one of the biggest accidents ever seen at Lydden Hill a couple of years ago on the exit of North Bend, where they're coming to now, when he rolled his previous BMW Mini. Chasing Raf Verheyen. I think he's going to settle for second place here. In Heat 1, Todd suffered a puncture while leading on the last bend. Heat 2, he broke a drive shaft. The yellow flag there because somebody has hit problems, but it's going to be a win for Raf Verheyen ahead of Todd Crooks. There's the checkered flag. Kenny Hall just misses out in third. Then it's James Knight-Coney, Bert Tunissa, Alavinsa, Garvelink, Leanne Sedgwick at the back. The car that had stopped down there was Leonardo Lyon. We lost the Peugeot 206 in the closing stages. It's Raf Verheyen with a flag-to-flag victory in his BMW, just ahead of Todd Crooks. They go through to the A final. Kenny Hall taking third place ahead of James Knight-Coney, then Tunissa, Alavinsa and Garvelink, the Dutchmen, and Leanne Sedgwick completing the 8 finishers. Now time for the A final. Double heat winner Pat Ryan from Ireland on pole, the points leader in the Vauxhall Nova. Alongside him it is Guy Corner in the Lotus Exige, and he's made a super start there on the middle of the grid. Mike Dresser straight down the grass in his Lotus Exige from the back of the grid. He's going to go off on the run into the Joker section, into the tyre wall. Oh dear. So one of the favourites in trouble there, and it's Guy Corner, the man from North Yorkshire, who's got the lead in his newly built Lotus Exige. He's got the engine from his previous Rallycross car, a Peugeot, in that machine. Pat Ryan in second, and it's the amazing Volvo 242 in third place of Kenneth Christiansen, all the way from Norway to race here at Lydden today. Raf Verheyen's got through into fourth, and then we've got Belgian Ludo Hermans in his Escort Cosworth fifth, ahead of Kieran Curran from Ireland in his Corsa in 6th. Pat Ryan had 2 wins in the heats today. He starts as the favourite here, the Orange Nova, but he's had to give best to the other heat winner today, Guy Corner, off the line. Kenneth Christiansen, ever sideways in that spectacular Volvo, takes his Joker lap. So does Ludo Hermans. The other cars coming through from the back, having taken their Jokers. Darren Scott in the Citroen C2 is one of them. The Pertec livery car. So we saw Mike Dresser in problems early on. Alan Crockett, one of the championship contenders from Northern Ireland, in his Corsa, also somewhere in there. Todd Crooks as well. You'll notice that at the start of the race, the grid was rather out of order. We had several jump starts before this race got underway. Christiansen, who's taking his Joker lap. There's Darren Scott behind him. Alan Crockett in the white Corsa at the top of your picture. Christiansen through Paddock Bend, hanging the tail out once again. Pat Ryan takes his Joker lap. Now is Guy Corner going to build up enough of a lead here in the Lotus? It's his first appearance in the Autosport International BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross Series this season, with that new car for 2019. Previous campaign with Peugeot 206. Pat Ryan hanging on ahead of Ken Christiansen in that real hark back to the olden days of Rallycross, the late 80s, early 90s with the Volvo. We call them the Swedish brick, but they are very potent machines, both in Rallycross, rallying and in touring car racing as well. Back in the 80s in the European Touring Car Championship. There's Todd Crooks chasing Raf Verheyen, just as he did in the B final. He runs wide there out of North Bend. Sideways again there, Christiansen holding off Darren Scott, who's always very quick indeed in that Citroen C2 here at Lydden Hill. Of the race then. Guy Corner, I would think, is leaving it late to take his Joker here, so he can build up enough of a lead over Pat Ryan. Ryan looking to keep his points lead, which I think he will do with Crockett and Crooks both back in the pack. There is the Lotus. He is well ahead now. Ludo Hermans attacking Todd Crooks. Behind them, Kieran Curran, the Irish former champion, in his yellow Corsa. Darren Scott all over Christiansen, that's for 3rd place. Crockett up the inside attack to Raf Verheyen, he gets through at North Bend. So Alan Crockett trying to recoup some ground. Not been quite on the pace today, especially with the overseas visitors here. Now we're on the last lap, and Guy Corner taking his Joker lap. Well, the rest of the field not even in sight. Guy Corner's going to win this. Safely ahead of Pat Ryan as he comes out of the Joker lap. Christiansen up there in 3rd. That Volvo has been one of the stars of the day here at Lydden Hill today, holding off Darren Scott, and he's looking on for an overall podium, the Norwegian. But it's Guy Corner, and from the north of England, to justify his long journey here today with victory. Pat Ryan is going to have to settle for 2nd place, but he will keep his points lead in the AS Performance Super Modified category. There's his main rival Alan Crockett, and Todd Crooks is mired in the traffic further back. And a frustrating day for him with car problems in the heats restricting his results. But Guy Corner takes the victory for the Lotus. That's his first A final win with the new car. 2nd goes to Pat Ryan, and Christiansen will hang on for 3rd, just ahead of Darren Scott. 5th is Alan Crockett. Coming through for 6th, Raf Verheyen. Ludo Hermans 7th. Todd Crooks will be slightly disappointed, I think, with 8th place. And 9th will go to Mike Dresser after that off at the start of the race in his Lotus Exige, because Kieran Curran has had a problem on the last lap and is limping home in his Corsa for 10th. Typically frantic racing then from the AS Performance Super Modified category here at Lydden today. We have a new winner for 2019. Well done to Guy Corner, his first appearance of the season, and he takes the victory by over 4 seconds ahead of Pat Ryan. Christiansen 3rd ahead of Darren Scott. Alan Crockett 5th ahead of Raf Verheyen. Ludo Hermans, and Todd Crooks completes the top 8.
Guy, to say that you have pretty much just built this car, I believe. Yeah. You're doing all right. How did you find that?
Yeah, it was good. Bit sketchy to start off this morning with bit wet conditions. Rear-wheel drive doesn't go well, but towards the end of the day, it's just getting faster and faster. There's still more potential for the car, massive potential, but it just needs a good driver.
I think you're doing yourself an injustice there. You've handled that car really well today, and it's a learning curve, isn't it? It's a new car for you, and you've only driven Lydden once, I think, as well. So yeah, it's a big learning curve, and you've done brilliantly. You've won your A final. Yeah,
no, it's good. Coming from the transition from a front-wheel drive to a rear-wheel drive, it's been a massive change. Big getting your head around it. So yeah, I'm pleased with it. Yeah.
Good, and so you should be. Let's hope we see you out in another round soon. Thank you.
Cheers.
Brilliant stuff from the AS Performance Super Modified category then. This certainly has to be one of the best events that the Motorsport International BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross Championship has put on over the last few years. A great entry, great weather, some great racing to say the least from every category that we have seen here at the home of Rallycross at Lydden Hill today. Everybody thoroughly enjoying themselves. We move on next to have a look at the Funk Motorsport Production category, and we join them during the C final. 2 places on the back of the grid for the B final up for grabs here. Ryan Randall in the Citroen C2, the bright green car, one of the pace setters here, chased by Mark Henry at the wheel of his rare Alfa Romeo 147 in the early stages of this one. Ryan Randall going for the Joker lap, as is Alan Laidler, the blue and orange Citroen Saxo behind him. Laidler being chased by Tom Brooks, motorsport commentator and journalist, in a hired Peugeot 106 there, driving with a broken collarbone today after a fall from a motorcycle here at Lydden just a few weeks ago. Mark Henry has gone to the front in the Alfa Romeo ahead of Cameron Whitley, his Ford Focus surviving a bit of a collision in one of the heats earlier on, a bit of damage to the back end. Thomas Edmonds up to third there in the MG ZR. Ryan Randall has rejoined from his Joker lap in 4th place. Not sure why he's got the hazard lights on there as he comes around North Bend. First 4 fairly well clear in this C final. Don't forget the first 2 qualify to the back of the grid for the B final. Mark Henry leads the way. Unusual to see him down in a C final, actually. Normally up there with the pace setters. Cameron Whitley in the Gremlin Motorsports Ford Focus goes for the Joker lap, so that will allow Edmonds to go through along with Randall up into 2nd and 3rd places. Then next through in the order we have the Ford Focus. He's rejoined in 4th, so fairly well clear of Laidler and Brooks, who are the next 2 through. Brooks, a leading broadcaster on motorsport on 2 and 4 wheels. Good to see him swapping microphone for steering wheel here today. Further back in the order at the moment, ahead of Graham Cuthbert in his green Saxo and Matt Reed at the back in his Vauxhall Corsa. This 8-car field, the Funk Motorsport Production category. Mark Henry continues to lead, but he'll have to take his Joker lap this time through. We'll see where he's going to come out. Will he preserve his position in the top 2, the qualifying places? I don't think he's going to, because there's Edmonds, there's Randall. Yep, they go up into 1st and 2nd. Mark Henry not able to build quite enough of a lead there. It's Tom Edmonds who's gone to the front, looking for what I think will be his first win in the MG ZR, being closed down though by Ryan Randall, who swims a little bit wide on the entry to Devil's Elbow there. A miss with the electrics, I think, in the C2. The indicators flashing on and off. Yes, there they go again throughout this race. Cameron Whitley attacking Mark Henry for 3rd. He was probably the narrow favourite coming into this one, but it looks like he's going to be eliminated at this stage. Chased by Whitley in the Mark 1 Ford Focus. They come into Paddock Bend for the last time. It's going to be a win for Thomas Edmonds. Well done to him. He takes the win in the MG ZR. He and Ryan Randall go through to the B final. 3rd place will go to Mark Henry. Cameron Whitley in 4th place. Tom Brooks coming through into 5th position in the 106. Then it's Graham Cuthbert, Matt Reed and Alan Laidler at the back in his Saxo, completing the 8-car field, I should say. It's a win for Thomas Edmonds. I believe that's his first win in the ZR, so congratulations to him. Check out the result of that one. Edmonds taking the victory by just over half a second ahead of Ryan Randall. They go through into the B final. Henry, Whitley, Brooks, Cuthbert, Reed and Laidler completing the 8 finishers. Now we move on to the B final for the Funk Motorsport Production category. Bradley Sampson in his Peugeot 206 on pole alongside Ben Eastwood in his Citroen C2. The car has been moved to the back of the grid there. Peter Hamlet in the Honda Civic after a jump start. It's a very busy pack of cars heading down towards Chessons Drift for the first time. A poor start by Bradley Sampson from pole position. 4 cars go for the Joker lap at the first attempt, including Ryan Randall in the green C2 there. He qualified with 2nd place in the C final. And it's Steve Gaunt, number 49, who's come out with the lead. Rallycross racer and sponsor, of course, through his haulage and trailer hire companies. Bradley Sampson's down to 4th. It's Ben Eastwood in 2nd place. Nigel Edge in his slightly battered Citroen Saxo had a collision with Cameron Whitley's Ford Focus in one of the heats earlier on down at the exit of Paddock Bend. There's Lee Keeler in number 31, the Team Hard supported Saxo. Tom Edmonds, who won the C final in behind them in the MGZR, as Ben Eastwood moves to the inside, side by side with Steve Gaunt, the 2 white C2s. Don't forget the top 2 finishers qualify for the back of the grid in the A final. Ben Eastwood has taken the lead. Bradley Sampson up into 3rd place now. There's Tom Edmonds in the MGZR, winner of the C final earlier on. Gaunt takes his joker lap, so do Nigel Edge and Tom Edmonds. Ryan Randall going through there on the inside. Also the Suzuki Swift, driven by German Marcus Ostfeld, who are our continental visitors. Start to sort themselves out then in this 4-lap B final for the Funk Motorsport production category, with Ben Eastwood, number 133, out in front, chased by Bradley Sampson, first season newcomer. He had hoped to debut a Mitsubishi Lancer Evo in the production 4x4 category today, but unfortunately that car wasn't ready in time. Further back there's the Ford KA of Tony Crisp, chased by Tom Edmonds. Bradley Sampson chasing hard after Ben Eastwood, our race leader. Didn't make the best of starts in his Peugeot 206, but now coming back through the order, but now decides to take his joker lap. He's almost sufficiently clear, I would say, of the rest of the field here. The car taking the joker behind him, that's Lee Keeler. So Ryan Randall in the green C2. He's already come through the C final, will go through into 2nd place. Now, could we see a driver go from C to A? We don't see that very often. Saw it in a couple of years ago in the classic category with Darren Owen in his Mark II Escort, I remember, and he nearly won the A final. So it's Randall now in 2nd place, then Marcus Ostfeld, the German, in his Suzuki Swift, side by side with Sampson, who pulls ahead of him on the run up the hill there. Car slowing in the background. I think that might be Lee Keeler's Saxo. Unfortunately, he may have a problem. There's Peter Hamlet, previously campaigned a Peugeot 306, debuting the Honda Civic today. Early leader Steve Gaunt under fire from Nigel Edge in the grey and yellow Saxo. Thankfully only cosmetic damage after his mishap earlier on in the heats, as leader Ben Eastwood takes the joker lap. Now, is he going to come out in the top 2? I don't think he is. Ryan Randall has gone through, and Bradley Sampson as well, and Sampson trying to make a move for the lead. We are on the last lap now. It's Ryan Randall, who's already come through the C final. Can he win the B final? Or is it going to be Bradley Sampson? Under steering wide there, Ryan Randall at Devil's Elbow. Catches out many drivers that corner, and Bradley Sampson's taken the lead in the 206. Well, our pole sitter for this race made a poor start, but he's fought back very nicely indeed. I think Ben Eastwood's going to just miss out here. There's Ostfeld in 4th in the Suzuki. It's going to be a win for Bradley Sampson in our Funk Motorsport production B final. Lee Keeler unfortunately has pulled up on the inside of Hairy Hill there. He's out of the race. But it's a win for Bradley Sampson. Ryan Randall goes into the A final as well. Eastwood misses out in 3rd, then Ostfeld, Gaunt, Edge, Hamlet is next home, then Tony Crisp, and finally Tom Edmonds, number 24 in the MGZR. So well done, Bradley Sampson, on his local circuit here at Lydden Hill today. Only lives a few minutes down the road, and he takes the victory by half a second ahead of Ryan Randall. They go onto the back of the grid for the A final. Ben Eastwood 3rd ahead of Marcus Ostfeld, then Gaunt, Edge, Hamlet, and Tony Crisp complete the top 8. Tom Edmonds the other finisher. Now it's time for the A final, with championship leader Dale Ford in pole position. He won 2 of the heats. Category returnee John Lyne won the other, and it's Lyne making a good start as they head down towards Chessons Drift for the first time. John Lyne, first time in 5 years that he's raced with this series, leads them away. Joe Miskauskas leads the Joker Lappers on the opening lap here in the Liquid Molly sponsored car. Ryan Randall behind him, Sue Lane in the Honda Civic there as well. So half the field have already taken their Jokers. It is the number 70 of John Lyne who leads ahead of Dale Ford. Rory Denning in the blue Peugeot 106, another newcomer to the championship, in 3rd place ahead of John Rook, the championship manager at the wheel of the Peugeot 106, in 4th. A busy week for John. Not only did he celebrate his birthday, but he became a father for the 2nd time as well when his daughter Sienna arrived. So congratulations to John. Sue Lane there attacking Ryan Randall. John Lyne it is who leads the way in the number 70. His first appearance in the Autosport International BTRDA Clubman's Championship for quite a few years. John Rook is up into 4th place, and there's Johnny Crisp in the second of the family's Ford KAs, battling it out in the midfield. Line from Ford, then Rory Denning going great guns up there in 3rd in the blue Peugeot. Dale Ford has a look for the lead into Devil's Elbow, don't think he's going to get through. Car slowing up at the back, that's Ryan Randall, he's out of it unfortunately. He's pulled up on the inside of Chestnut's Drift. 2 Saxos fight it out then. Line from Ford, round North Bend. Ford goes to the inside, Rory Denning is keeping a watching brief behind them. John Rook up there in 4th, the best I think we've ever seen him run here at Lydden today. Through Paddock Bend they come, there's a yellow flag out there. It's for the other side of the circuit. Someone's pulled up on the exit of Devil's Elbow. We'll try and identify that in a moment as John Lyne goes for his joker lap. So Dale Ford will take the lead. He's going to try and build up as big a lead as he can now, but Rory Denning is not letting him get away. Denning has not taken his joker yet either. Lyne rejoins in 3rd place. Leaders come through the Devil's Elbow. Lifting a wheel there, Dale Ford. There's the car that's pulled up. It's Sue Lane in the Honda Civic. Unfortunately, she's out of the race. It's on the edge of the circuit there. John Rook is up to 3rd. He's ahead of John Lyne. Now, Rook, I don't think has taken his joker yet, so we'll wait and see how things unfold over the last 2 laps. There's John Lyne in the Rotten Racing Saxo. Certainly not had a rotten day today. A very good day for John, winning a heat. It's Dale Ford, who's currently fighting Luke Constantine for the overall championship lead. All the classes combined together. He keeps it going. Now Denning goes for his joker lap. This could be critical. Let's see what Dale Ford's lead is over John Lyne. I think it's going to be just about enough, you know, for Dale Ford to take another A final victory. And he needs a win today after mechanical problems kept him out of the A final at the previous round at Pembrey in Wales. Dale Ford. There's Ryan Randall's car in the background on the infield. Ford leads it. Lyne is there in 2nd. He's got back ahead of Rory Denning. Then Joe Miskauskas is in 4th place. John Rook has just taken his joker, so has dropped back into 5th. Great debut by Rory Denning in 3rd in the Peugeot. Can John Rook catch Joe Miskauskas for 4th place, the Lithuanian-born driver based in Northamptonshire, in the Liqui Moly-sponsored car. Dale Ford now, this is the critical moment, goes for his joker lap. I think he's got enough of a lead over John Lyne, but we shall wait and see. That's about 6 seconds to your lap time doing your joker. Here they come then, and Dale Ford, does he hold his lead? It's going to be close here. Yes, he's done it. Ford leads. It's surely going to be yet another A final victory here, and that'll keep his hopes of the overall championship alive. John Lyne up there in 2nd. Just a couple more corners to negotiate now. Denning is 3rd. They're clear of their opposition. There's Miskauskas in 4th. John Rook still going great guns in 5th overall. Round the top of the circuit they come for the last time. Is John Lyne going to challenge here at Paddock Bend for the final time? I don't think he's quite going to get close enough. Through Paddock Bend they come for the final time. It's going to be a win for championship leader 7:04. Dale Ford takes the checkered flag. Lyne 2nd. Denning takes 3rd. Then further back Miskauskas, a brilliant 4th place. A little further along, best ever performance by John Rook. 5th overall in the 106. 6th will go to Johnny Crisp in the KA, just ahead of Dale Riches in his Citroen C2. The other runner, Bradley Sampson in the Peugeot 206, the B final winner. Sue Lane and Ryan Randall unfortunately dropping out, but Dale Ford keeps his hopes of the overall title alive with victory in the A final, taking the win by just under half a second ahead of returnee John Lyne. Rory Denning an excellent 3rd ahead of Joe Miskauskas. Well done John Rook on 5th place ahead of Johnny Crisp, Dale Riches and Bradley Sampson completing the top 8.
Brilliant win, Dale. Now that was action-packed. I mean, you had to fight for that.
I certainly did, yeah, all the way from the start. I didn't get the best of starts. I just had to keep pushing and trying to gain as much time as I could. And I see the car in front of me, did his joker lap, and I thought, do I, don't I? So I pushed one more lap and just got enough time to do my joker.
I think this seems to be the theme of the day this round, is getting that timing right for the joker lap. I mean, it looked from our perspective like you were building that speed up, you're building the gap. You kind of waited for everyone else to drop off on their joker, and then you swept in for your joker, and it just seemed to pay off for you.
Yeah, it did, yeah, thankfully.
And it's quite a technical track as well. Do you enjoy it here? It's quite different to a lot of the other tracks we've done in the championship.
Yeah, I love it here, yeah. It's probably my best track, to be fair. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you certainly look like you're having fun out there. So are you going to come back again for the next round and get some more points for that championship?
Yeah, we are, yeah.
You're right at the top there, aren't you? I mean, you're right in kind of the top 3 for those points, so it's all to play for.
It certainly is, yeah.
All right, we'll see you there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's take a look at the combined overall points standings then. It is still Luke Constantine at the top, but only just on drop scores ahead of Dale Ford, so I would say that the overall championship is going to be between those two at the final round this year, although Mark Jones and Patrick Ryan are not far behind, and they could still have a chance at the overall championship this year if results go their way in Scotland at the final round of the season. Still all to play for, though, I would say between Constantine and Ford at the top two. That just about wraps things up here at Lydden Hill today, here at round 7 of the Autosport International BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross Championship, and what a wonderful event it has been here at the spiritual home of Rallycross here at Lydden Hill. The final round of the year takes place in October up in Scotland at Knock Hill, where Rallycross is held for the first time in a few years. Join us for that one, but for now, thanks for watching and goodbye.